Christmas is finally over. The past 3 days were actually the first time I haven't actually been in the studio for 3 days in a row this entire year, except for my vacations in Thailand, of course. So it's really about time to head there and make some new music.
We keep dancing with our hearts. I don't wanna fall again.
You know, I just love this time of the year. It's between Christmas and New Year, and everybody is super relaxed. Everybody is still a bit hungover from Christmas. Everybody had way too much to eat. It's kind of like the entire city is stoned. Very relaxed, everything is happening at half speed and the chocolate is reduced. So let's see, I think this time it's a shark or something. Yep, it's a little shark. You press here, it opens its mouth. It's really cute. I think I would give it to Vanessa. She is a big shark fan. Whenever there's a shark documentary, we have to watch it. So today I wanted just to go through all of my tracks that I have on my hard drive and categorize them into tracks that I don't like, I don't want to finish, tracks that are good but still need a lot of work, tracks that are almost finished, and then tracks that are complete and finished, and see which one of them I want to send out to labels, and research a bit online and see which label might fit, go through my older contacts, see if someone there might be interested in the tracks, and just in general trying to find a label for my music. Which is a perfect opportunity to show you how you can get your tracks signed with a label, how to send your tracks, how to find the right label, what to do, what not to do, and all these kind of things that I've learned throughout the years. First of all, you will need at least 3 tracks that are all done. I will tell you in a bit why 3, but you need a finished track to send out to labels. If it's not finished, there is no point in sending it to them. They're not there to give you feedback. They usually get hundreds and hundreds of emails a day, depending on the size of the label, and if they just see that the track is not finished or doesn't feel finished for them, they won't even respond to you and just delete it. It's very unprofessional to send to a label a track that isn't done 100%. Then usually nowadays there are only a few options to really send a track to the label. Usually all labels have an email address or a form on their website where you can send them the track on SoundCloud or a private download link. And if you're sending out an email, keep it really short, maybe just 1 to 3 sentences about yourself, how old you are, where you're from, what type of music you're making, and maybe past releases if you have any. If you don't have any past releases, just let them know that you're young, starting out. I think that's something a lot of labels are actually looking for. They like to discover new artists. Also include your social media links. I think for a label it's important to see how well you're taking care of these kind of things. This also shows how much you care about your music, how much you know about the business side, that you're just well-rounded artist that is not only just making music. Being an artist involves a lot of things, and taking care of your social media stuff is part of it. It of course helps if they see that you already have a big following. If you don't have a big following, it doesn't matter. It's still important that they just can see that you're active, that you care about your music. It's just for the label the easiest way to check you out, so just see your social medias like an application for a normal job. The nicer it is, the more stuff is there and the better it looks, the more likely it is that you will get noticed and get a release, if the tracks are good. That's of course the main priority. Also make sure that the style of tracks you're sending out to the label actually fit to the label. You should check out what other tracks they release, what's kind of their general main direction. Most of the labels have a sound, so keep that in mind. Your track doesn't need to be a copy of someone else that is already releasing on the label. This would actually be a bad idea, because why do they need another one that sounds the same as one of their artists? They are looking for new stuff, but it has to go kind of into the same direction. If you send a trance track to a hip-hop label, it's just pointless. You're wasting your own time and the time of the label, and they will probably just block your email. If the label doesn't respond, it usually means that they don't like the track for the label. You can assume after 1, 2, maybe 3 months that they just listened to it and didn't like it. If you send them a SoundCloud link, you can even look up in the stats if they have listened to it. If you send them the download link, I think there's also a possibility to check that. And don't really follow up with another email when the label is a big one. You will probably just not get an answer, and they're way too busy dealing with all of the demo emails that they get. So getting no response usually means a no. When the label responds to you, they will usually not sign you right away. They will talk a bit with you, see who you are, what you're doing. And that's why I told you need at least 3 tracks, because the first thing they will ask you is to send them more tracks. And if you then have to write them, that's the only one you have, you pretty much lost. They will probably not even sign this one track, and you will have a hard time to get again in contact with them. So really have at least 3 tracks finished that you can send them as a follow-up. A lot of you always ask me to what label they could send their music to, and I honestly don't really get the question. I think you should know best which label fits to your music, because I just assume that you're listening to music as well that is close to your own music. So if you're making tropical house, you probably are also listening to Kygo, and then you can just look up which label on Beatport is featuring music in your style and just write down all of the labels and send them emails with your tracks and go from there. It couldn't be any easier than this. Just look out for music that is similar or at least in the same style, and try to find out online which label is behind the release. On Beatport it's super easy. Also on Spotify, Apple Music, and also on YouTube, almost everywhere you can find down below at least very small which label it was released on, and then you Google for the label, try to find out their contact or demo submission email. Then you just send them your tracks, maybe make a list with all of the labels, so the next time you have to do it you won't have to find out all of their addresses and stuff, and maybe you can update that list. I had one myself 2 or 3 years ago with I think 25-30 labels that were all making the same kind of style of music that I was making, and usually when I sent to all of them the emails, I got 5 to 6 response, and 2 or 3 were interested in releasing my track. And then you get kind of in the comfortable situation that you can pick the label out of those 3 that are left over that you think is best for your music, that has the most potential and is taking care the best of your tracks. As hard as it might sound, if you don't get any response and you've sent out 30 mails and waited 1 or 2 months, it's really a sign that your music isn't really good enough. So just go back into your studio, make new tracks, and if you think you really deserve a label release within the first 1 or 2 years where you started making music, I have to say you're a bit naive. That's almost impossible. I only know a very few exceptions. It usually takes 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 years until your music is good enough to be released on a label that is really taking care of you as an artist. I mean, it's very basic. It's the same as becoming a dentist or doctor. You just need a couple of years to learn it, and once you're done, you can apply for a real job and get paid. Now it's time for me to organize my tracks, find the best ones, find the best labels for them, and send out a bunch of emails. I'm all done with work and it's still bright outside, kind of. Really nice. I have to bring back a couple of Christmas presents and the stereo mic that wasn't that good. Now that all of the packages are gone, I can shop for another mic, and it's also time for grocery shopping. Today is the first day where the stores are open again. I don't really want to eat. I'm still extremely full from yesterday and the day before, But Vanessa asked me to get something little. She means with something small, red cabbage and Semmelknödel. I'm not really sure how you call it in English, but I'm sure someone can leave a comment down below. And maybe something sweet. No, it's almost the next year. Back at home, Vanessa isn't here, so continuing with work a bit. But I actually kind of said to myself this week that I will only work 8 hours and kind of have a little bit of kind of a holiday season. But I don't really know what to do now for the next half an hour until she comes back. So why not spend it with making a little bit of music. I still have a track where I need to automate a lot of stuff, and that's something I can do at home with headphones.
Gerade war 17 Grad, irgendwas.
Ah, no, das ist alles gut.
18,9.
Yeah. Vanessa's finally here and already complaining about the low heat in here. I think it's all good. But Vanessa is a little Frostbeule. I don't know how to translate it. Can you translate Frostbeule?
Freezing bowl.
But here, I got dinner for you.
Good job.
Will you make it? Okay, I understand. What else? I got a present for you. Somewhere in my jacket. Maybe a shark for you.
Muchas gracias.
I already told them that you like sharks. Can you tell them why you like sharks?
So we don't know much about sharks, and I think it's interesting to learn much more about them.
Would you go into one of these shark?
Yeah.
Yes? Like in the cage?
Yeah.
You can go, I filmed from
above?
Yes.
Yeah.
So next vacation, where can we see sharks? Australia?
South Africa.
South Africa, okay.
Yeah.
You're already planning, right? You already checked the prices. She loves traveling, so yeah. Time for dinner.
Hey Jonathan.
Hey Vanessa.
Das ist keine Aufnahme mit der Küche.
Das sieht sauber aus in der Kamera. It's still a mess from Friday.
I show you what he left for me. And I already cleaned up a bit too this morning. Okay.
That's a bit embarrassing. That's pancake. That's pancake.
Please tell him not to leave a mess like this one more time.
Yeah, but I made the food and we have one rule. I'm cooking and she is cleaning.
Okay, but I never imagined this kind of mess.
So now time to make the next mess.
I keep dancing with my
Dinner was really delicious. Vanessa suggested a movie. What was the name again? Nerve. Don't know what to expect, but it's probably good. Whenever Vanessa suggested a movie, it's top notch. Except for this one time.
dancing with my
She's really bothered by it, so I know I just have to wait 2 days and then she will take care of it. But